Sure. My first name is Brent, B-R-E-N-T. Last name is Weisberg, W-E-I-S-B-E-R-G. I'm a spokesperson with the Salt Lake City Police Department.
What can you tell us?
So we are at approximately 1950 West North Temple here in Salt Lake City. Around 7:30 this evening, around 7:30 this evening, Salt Lake City 911 received information about a domestic disturbance here at an apartment complex located behind me. Again, we're at about 1950 West North Temple. Our social workers and Salt Lake City police officers assigned to our Pioneer Patrol Division responded. Based on the information that they learned that the suspect may have been barricaded himself inside an apartment complex after committing a domestic violence offense. We have been able to confirm that the suspect is likely the only person inside this apartment complex. We also know that the victim who was inside initially, she was able to get out safely. At this time, we do believe that the suspect and the victim did know each other from a prior relationship, and that the suspect is accused of making threats of violence towards the victim. Out of an abundance of caution, due to the fact that we could not engage with communications with the suspect, we did call out our SWAT team along with our crisis negotiators, as well as some more social workers. So right now we're in the very methodical process of trying to contact this individual to have a safe outcome. Sure. There have only been a few evacuations, and those are the apartments directly adjacent to this apartment where we believe the suspect is. All of the other apartments where this is happening, they have been asked to shelter in place. So very minor evacuations. North Temple does remain open, and so there is limited traffic impact aside from the minor delays that you will see just due to the police activity. Again, the reason we called in our SWAT team is because they have highly trained officers and detectives assigned to that squad, and they're able to effectively work to resolve this situation peacefully.
You can still hear them right now. It sounds like they're still trying to get him.
This is a very active situation right now. Our number one priority is the safety for our officers, safety for the community members, and also safety for the individual who is barricaded inside this apartment complex. So what's happening right now is our officers have identified this individual. We know who this suspect is, and we are right now using all means necessary to get this person to hopefully engage with our crisis negotiators and our social workers as we work towards a safe and peaceful resolution. Yes, based on the preliminary information that we have, the victim was able to get out safely and was not hurt.
Brent, can you talk about the volatility of responding to a domestic violence call and how officers approach the unknown of a scenario like this?
Domestic violence situations are always inherently volatile. Our officers are highly trained, and when we do have a situation where someone who has presented themselves potentially with a weapon, who has then barricaded themselves inside an apartment or a resident, we want to make sure that we're doing everything possible to ensure the safety of that individual, the safety of our community, and the safety of our officers. These situations are things that we train for very regularly, and our officers are very skilled. Again, we bring a lot of resources to these situations. That's why we brought out our crisis negotiators. We brought out our social workers. We're doing everything we can to ensure a safe and peaceful resolution to this case.
And again, just some surrounding apartments evacuated, or how many?
So I don't have the exact number of the total apartments that have been evacuated, but those are the ones I would presume that are adjacent to, next to this, where this is all happening. And these are individual units. They're not an entire building. And the rest of the complex is in essentially a shelter in place.
And I see a helicopter. Is that also a part of this?
That I don't know.
Do they believe he is armed at this point?
Sorry, what was that?
Do they believe he is armed at this point?
Based on the preliminary information, we do believe that the suspect may have access to some sort of dangerous weapon.
Have they made any type of contact with him? Has he said anything?
Based on the information that I have, we have not been able to communicate with this individual. And again, our number one priority is to do everything we can to get this individual to engage with our officers, to communicate with them so we can ultimately have a safe and peaceful resolution. We want to do everything we can to make sure that our officers are safe, our community members are safe, and that we can bring this situation to a safe and peaceful resolution. We would ask that our community members, obviously there is a police impact to this neighborhood, we would ask that people refrain from coming to this area to do anything that would otherwise impede our investigation. Thank you, everyone.